I think one of the most uncomfortable feelings in life is feeling lost, not knowing what's next, not knowing if you're making the right decision, not knowing if you're moving forward or simply moving. And when that happens, it's easy to assume that something has gone wrong, that everyone else has a plan, that somehow you have fallen behind. But the more I look back on life, the more I realize that some of my important chapters started with being lost. Because before every new beginning, there's usually a period where nothing makes sense. It's kind of like you leave something familiar, but you haven't built something new yet. You are standing between the two versions of your life. And from the inside, that space feels uncomfortable. But maybe it's supposed to, right? Because how could you possibly know exactly what you're doing when you're doing something you have never done before? Maybe being lost isn't evidence that you're failing, it's just the evidence that you're exploring. Because every person who has ever built something meaningful started without knowing how would it turn. And honestly, I think we underestimate how much of life is figured out along the way. And most of it isn't discovered through thinking, it's discovered through living. So if you feel lost right now, maybe that's not a sign to stop. Maybe it's a sign that you're somewhere new. And perhaps that's where growth has always lived. Not in certainty, but in the courage to keep moving without it. Thank you for listening to a thought that was between me and me.